A new generation of gaming is almost upon us with the raw speed and performance that will let you revisit some old favorites with faster loading speeds, or in some cases with a new coat of paint. And also the promise of future entries on well-renowned series, new big or small franchises that defy creativity, or some that only look to put a smile on your face. 2020 has been a tough year in many fronts, but certainly is one of the best to be a gamer. Let's comprehensively explore what the upcoming consoles are about, and what you can expect in just a few days. We already covered Xbox Series X and S on a previous video. If you want to check that out, you can click on the button at the top of this video. My name is Joseph, this is Hype for Games, and now is the time to check out on PlayStation. The PlayStation 5 launches this November 12th and is coming on two flavors, with the disc edition going for $499 with $99 and the digital only edition retailing for $399 with $99. Both versions of the console are tailored for the same experience, with the only difference being on how you access games. Let's do a quick look at the specs for these consoles, since they have both the same Ryzen Zen 2 processor and AMD graphics unit, which means you'll get the same experience regardless which one you go with. Features like 120 FPS, 4K resolution with support for up to 8K, HDR, ray tracing, faster loadings, and so on. The only difference, as we mentioned, is the way you access games. The disc version allows you to play games from both digital and disc versions like you would do on a current PS4, while the digital version is tied to purchasing games from the PlayStation Store only. This is also important if you have a current library of physical PS4 games to take advantage of backwards compatibility, or if you have a Blu-ray movie collection. PS5 also features an SSD with a custom controller that enables it to read at ultra-fast speed. Both console versions include the same amount of onboard storage of 825 GB, and this will help improve general in-game loading in games like we have seen in demos like Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, and performance of backwards compatibility titles should also improve as a result. More storage can be added via a certified external NVMe SSD, but it won't happen at launch, since Sony needs to approve which drives will be fast enough to match the internal drive speed. So you're gonna be tight in regards to how many games you can install for a while. PS5 has support for external drives and games can be played out of them, but doing so won't see that much of an improvement compared to running off the SSD. In terms of connectivity, both consoles feature a front USB-C port, one USB 2.0 port, two USB 3.1 ports, support for Wi-Fi 6, which should future-proof in regards of compatible wireless routers, an Ethernet port, and Bluetooth 5.1. Moving up to audio, PS5 includes a custom sound processor for their new Tempest audio tech that will improve your game experience when using compatible headphones like the new Pulse headset, or with headphones through the 3.5mm port in the controller. Design-wise, the PS5 shares similarities with the curved design seen back on PS3, but also has two white plates covering the central unit. And for the first time it comes with a stand included that allows it to sit both horizontally or vertically, and it's easy to install since it only requires one screw. In terms of cooling, vents are seated at the edges of the central units with each of the plates, and they run all the way around from the top to the back, working as an exhaust for heat. Inside the console they also include a large 120mm by 45mm fan that can be updated to balance its load depending on the game, a huge heatsink block, and the processor has liquid metal as a cooling solution. All this is with the target of having good performance on intensive games without the fan noise that the PS4 was famous for, and according to users who have been close to the unit, it works for now. Another design difference between both consoles has to do with the disc version having a small hump towards its base where the disc reader is seated, and the digital version going with a slightly slimmer and symmetrical design due to the lack of it. With that, the disc version weighs 9.9 pounds and the digital edition at 8.6 pounds, so both are big, heavy guys. Now let's look at the content that comes with each box. First, a PS5 console either disc or digital edition, an AC power cord, an HDMI 2.1 high-speed cable to take advantage of newer and more feature-rich TV sets, a base to feed it horizontally or vertically, which for the most part on previous PlayStation consoles has been an optional add-on accessory. And last but not least, a DualSense controller and USB-C cable to charge it since it comes with an integrated battery. Let's stop and talk a little bit about the controller since it's probably one of the biggest departures in regard to the PlayStation controller design. The controller is more rounded around the grips and resembles what would be an Xbox controller in overall shape. It features a two-tone black and white color design, and at launch is the only color that will be available with the console or as an accessory. The touchpad returns but is more rounded, and the light bar now sits around its edge. The PlayStation button is shaped after the logo instead of a rounded one. The speaker remained on the same position, but now they added a mic under it along with a mute button. The sacred symbols buttons now come clear instead of colored, the sticks are kept in line, and the biggest introduction from PS4, the share button, has now been turned into a create button, and it will still allow you to take pictures and videos among other features. Two highlights have been making the rounds praised by the media as a way to experience games differently. The haptic feedback being an improved rumble functionality similar to what Nintendo did with the Switch Joy-Con controllers and can react with several levels of vibration. Then the adaptive triggers allow developers to make dynamic resistance levels of input to simulate the actions done in the game, so you would have to press harder for different types of weapons, for example. These are nice additions, but will only have legs depending on if developers adopt this in for upcoming games far beyond console release, instead of being forgotten like it's the track record for many of these in the past. Let's get now into the accessories that will be available for PS5 at launch. The DualSense wireless controller will also be sold as a separate accessory, and as we mentioned, only in the white and black variant, going for $70. There's the Pulse 3D wireless headset compatible with PS4 and PS5, however, the 3D audio feature will only work on PS5 with its 3D Tempest engine. It retails for $99 with $99. The HD camera allows you to add yourself into videos and broadcasts and features some background removal functionality. It goes for $60. And worth mentioning, this camera will only work for the aforementioned functions, and it's not compatible with the PlayStation VR headset, which we'll touch in a moment. The media remote allows you to quick access apps like Spotify, Disney+, Netflix and YouTube, as well as controlling 4K Blu-ray or streaming movie playback, and it retails for $30. Finally, there's the DualSense charging station with space to charge up to 2 controllers and goes also for $30. PS5 is also compatible with certain accessories from PS4 with a few caveats. Let's explain them. Special peripherals like racing wheels, arcade sticks, flight sticks, guitars and so on will work for both PS4 and PS5 games with no problem. Platinum and Gold wireless headset and any headset that connects via USB or audio jack will also work on PS5, but the headset companion app for first-party PS4 games won't work. DualShock 4 standard wireless controller and licensed third-party gamepads will only work with supported PS4 games because they believe that PS5 games should take advantage of the new capabilities and features from the DualSense controller like haptic feedback and adaptive triggers. This is a huge bummer since function-wise there's not that big of a difference between the inputs you have on PS4 and PS5. It's great they push developers towards using the new features so that they are not forgotten down the line, but still could have been an option. PlayStation Move motion controllers and PlayStation VR aim controllers will work with supported PSVR games on PS5. However, it will require the PS4 camera to work, as you can use the VR unit with the new camera. Seems as it will be mostly used for streaming only, and we'll have to wait and see if Sony releases a new VR unit this generation. To use the PS4 camera on PS5, you will need an adapter that converts from the PS4 proprietary input to a USB. This will be provided for free by Sony. You can check the link to the support page in the description to learn more about it. Let's jump into the features that the PS5 will offer at launch. PS5 is backwards compatible with 99% of the PS4 catalog, with the only exceptions being DWBR, Afro Samurai 2, TT Isle of Man, Just Deal With It, Shadow Complex Remastered, Robinson The Journey, We Sing, Hitman Go Definitive Edition, Shadowend, and Joe's Diner. This list, however, may change in the future and doesn't include demos, media, and not media apps like the headphones app we mentioned. Every PS4 game besides this will be playable on your PS5 and may enjoy improvements inherent to better hardware specs. However, not all saves will be compatible, and this will depend on the developer. Some games will also make use of Game Boost, which allows to further improve the performance of a game. This is similar to what PS4 Pro offered. Games like Days Gone, God of War, and Ghost of Tsushima will receive patches to provide better resolution, frame rates, and so on. improving the way some of the backward compatible titles perform. This is only available if the developer makes improvements to the game code to remove performance caps in frame rate and resolution, so while other compatible games may benefit from better hardware, they won't be taking advantage of game boost at the same time. At launch, PS5 will have the following media apps available: Apple TV, Disney+, Netflix, Spotify, Twitch, and YouTube. This leaves a lot of media apps already available for PS4 like Hulu for example. Just as we mentioned during the backward compatibility, these PS4 apps are not compatible with PS5, which means they need to be developed from the ground up for the new system. And this is the reason why you won't have them at launch, but they might come in the future. It's time to look into the games you'll be able to play and services you can get on day one. The following games are going to be launched with the console within its week of release. Astro's Playroom, Demon's Souls, Sackboy: A Big Adventure, Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales, Marvel's Spider-Man Remastered, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Borderlands 3, Bugsnax, Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, Destiny 2 Beyond Light, Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition, Dirt 5, Fortnite, Godfall, Just Dance 2021, Man Eater, Mortal Kombat 11 and Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate, NBA 2K21, No Man's Sky, Observer System Redux, Overcooked all you can eat. Planet Coaster Console Edition. The Pathless. Warhammer Chaosbane Slayer Edition. Watch Dogs Legion. WRC9. PlayStation Plus is back on PS5. The service allows you to access online multiplayer on premium games, monthly free games, exclusive discounts, cloud saves and more for $60 a year. Games redeemed on PlayStation Plus for free are yours to keep while you remain a subscriber. You get 2 PS4 games every month, which will be playable on PS5 according to the backwards compatibility list, and at launch, you will also get 1 free game on PS5, which is the lovable bug hunting game from Jog Horses, Bugsnax. PlayStation Plus users will also get a new feature exclusive to PS5, and that is the PlayStation Plus Collection, announced back in September. As part of the same membership price, you'll also get 20 games that define the PS4 console generation, from First Party, Bloodborne, Days Gone, Detroit Become Human, God of War, Infamous Second Son, Ratchet & Clank, The Last Guardian, The Last of Us Remastered, Until Dawn, and Uncharted 4: A Thief's End. And from the third-party side, Batman Arkham Knight, Battlefield 1, Call of Duty Black Ops 3 Zombies Chronicles Edition, Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy, Fallout 4, Final Fantasy XV Royal Edition, Monster Hunter World, Mortal Kombat X, Persona 5, and Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. This will see improvements in performance due to backwards compatibility and/or game boost. Again, this is a PS5 exclusive feature, so they are only redeemable on the console itself and not on the store website like you can for its regular monthly games. PS Now is Sony's Netflix-like offering for games. At the price of $60 a year, you'll get access to more than 800 PS2, PS3 and PS4 games, which will be playable on your PS5 via streaming for PS3 games and either downloading or streaming for PS2 and PS4 titles. You can also access the service on PC, where you can stream only. New games are added at the beginning of every month, and for November it includes the likes of Rage 2, Injustice 2 and F1 2020, to name a few. A feature that has been present since the PS3 returns on PS5, where you can access your PS5 remotely from a mobile device or your PC via streaming. Just update the app to the latest version and you can enjoy playing away from your console. And that concludes our comprehensive look at the upcoming launch for PlayStation 5. Whether you go with the disc or digital edition, you are in for the same experience, as games will perform the same, and the only preference you have to consider is your favorite medium. PlayStation Plus Collection offers you a way to catch up on marquee titles from PS4 like God of War, Days Gone, Fallout 4 and more, besides also having the same benefits that we have had in the past like cloud saves, free monthly games and online play. If you are into new accessories, there's plenty to cover for now, and the most expensive ones from the previous generation also work, but it's a bummer that they didn't go with full compatibility on previous hardware, even if it's an understandable decision business-wise. Which PS5 console are you going for this November 12th? And which games are you most hyped to play? Let me know in the comments below, along with a like if you enjoyed this video, or if you disliked it, let me know your feedback as well. Subscribe for more videos like this, and in the meantime, check out our previous ones covering next gen. My name is Joseph, this has been Hype for Games, and let's get hype!